standard message of, everybody knows everything. Everybody. They know everything. Dude. Well, I could use that context. You could use that in three different contexts. One being, truly, you do know everything. Like, you do have answers to things that are universal. And then there's the everyone knows everything in the sense that, in a smart-ass way, where everybody, once they know something, no, they know it. They know it. Once they're in there, they fucking know. And there's nothing you can say. You can bring all the facts and ideas and even not what common sense is, but what a common observation of reality would be. And they won't know. They know better. And everybody knows everything. I don't know. I just find so many people, especially people that get in like they get in the health communities. And everybody's got their blind spots, but once they get into these certain communities, these religious ordeals, they can't quite find their way to learning more. Once they've learned and they've become emotionally attached to a piece of information, like look, it's very easy to get emotionally attached to the idea that if I say the farming industry is killing cows and slaughtering them this way and injecting them with bacteria, all this garbage, all the shit that goes on. Obviously, it's disgusting. Now, so they tie an emotional response to everything to do with anything that could be related to milk or cheese or butter or eggs or honey is wrong because you can't now they're emotionally invested in that it's all that way, and they can't see any reasonable, rational understanding of discourse because they're emotionally involved. It's like somebody that has a father or mother that has a certain job, and you're like, your father's a doctor, but he's sorry that the whole business is a scam. It's scheming. It's fucking scammy swammy. It's not there to benefit people. It's not. It's a business. You try to explain to someone that it is a business, and they somehow can't get it through their head because they're emotionally invested into believing a different way. Oh, but my father's a good person. I love him, and he loves everyone. Like, yeah, sure. But his job does not allow for these things, and so you start attaching emotional constructs to ideas, and they are constructs. They're not real. It's how you think about how you feel something. They don't even know. Like, it's not. They have no knowledge of it, but they just emotionally respond to something that is not even. People that are scared of certain things. There's no reasonable, rational reason to be scared of something, but somehow they've got it locked in their system that they're scared of a butterfly or something. But then you have the ones in the opposite direction where, the fear, the amount of people out these days that are arguing. Like right now, there's this thing going on apparently at the where Congress, White House, I don't know, wherever the hell they do these things. So they stormed Congress or whatever, because this is some kind of crazy day for elections or something. Probably going to look and see what the star systems and all of these things are doing right now. What's up, Akio Rodriguez? Well, thank you. Yes, it's one of my favorites. I do enjoy it. It's multi-purpose. I can the Congress House shit. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I go. What's funny is I go and I just scroll through a little Instagram, and these people that I thought were intelligent. Semi-famous people, maybe comedians, maybe this, maybe that, and they stick to one side. They're like, oh, see this MAGA nonsense, da. Not knowing that MAGA is actually the fifth level of a satanic. It's a connection to magic. Again, I'm not taking any sides on what's good or bad here. It's not like a Christian. It's always funny to me Christians that like love Trump, not even knowing that MAGA is literally or magus. It's literally a magus or magician's the fifth level of satanic cult. Hey, I got no problem with either side. You can do all the crazy Christianity you want. You can do all the magic you want. In fact, I teach about magic, just what it is. Um, but it's just ironic to listen to people. They'll battle. They battle each side, and like when how do these people still see that they're not on the same team? The only possible outlet for this, the only possible outcome is basically one of two things. That either, truthfully, that this dude, Trumpy guy, is trying to do something, and he's running a bigger gambit underneath the game, trying to help the planet and help people, or you have to accept it as what it's always been, which is 100% staged, staged. I mean, they're on the same team, you know? They all work for the same larger corporation, or beyond that, if you want to say they're satanic worshippers or whatever, like it's a whole conflict thing. And so like the amount of conflict people have these days is outrageous. It's funneled down into like lower tiers of society, that now it's the masked versus the non-masked. They have so much anger and aggression and emotion built up in what people are that don't just disconnected me. Just disconnected me. I suppose it could be where I am in the park, but it was working pretty fine up until there. We'll see who comes back. Just finishing off that thought, maybe I'll just start another show. Let's see who's still here. If Mr. Mannion's here. Let's see who's still here. If not, I'll just come back to it. But yeah, there's just the emotional thing they build into it. That's what I was getting into. There's people that don't realize, like, both sides are part of the same thing. And then anybody that points this out gets the, they get treated like I would get treated, or you would get treated like a witch, like a Salem witch, right? That just for suggesting that there's other things going on psychologically, magically. We're just suggesting these things are going on. Now are some of us on this side actually witches? Perhaps, but we're just saying, like, don't get tricked into the thing that's supposed to, it's magic and sorcery and all this is not. The whole goal of it is not to divide people. It just so happens that's what they're using it for, because they're using a very peculiar form of magic that it works to some degree. But then it leaves the rest of us that are trying to go. It's not like we're trying. For me, I'm not on the other team with I got to expose the evil cabal, because I'm on Hollywood's side for the most part. I'm not on most of the media side. I don't really agree with just about anything that's going on in politics. I'm not 100% anti-government, but it's way too much. There needs to be some sort of governing body of energy and people, but all in all, like it's working from places that, again, even the government, if you don't think the media is not part of, the system, you're very, very highly mistaken. I mean, of course it is. If you don't think that the food that you get fed in schools and information that's provided to you isn't part of that whole system, highly mistaken. If you think that, all of these things are out there for your own good, and that these people are somehow like, yeah, it's the Republicans versus it's always the red versus the blue team. Why? There's no other teams playing the game. There's only two teams playing the sport. What's up? I've covered that before, Mr. Mannion. In the worst ways, well, here I'm gonna tell you what it is in the best way. And the best way is this: if you don't want to control your mind, I'll do it for you. Now, do they put people kind of imprisoned into that? Yes. Is it a terrible thing sometimes? Most of the time, absolutely. But there is the top side to it, which is, if you learn that it's going on, then you get to actually to control your own mind. There is actually, really, really good books on what mind control is. It's like, mind control isn't to control everyone else's, it's to control your own. By controlling your own, you're a more prominent force of power. And so if everyone else is not able to be controlling their mind, I mean, wouldn't they, Like, do you think you want your child to not be to a degree mind controlled by you? Well, I mean, if everybody's all experiencing the world, not knowing what's going on, you have to load programs. You have to load mental constructs. You have to load a form of even parental, mind controlling to a degree. But you have to, then you have to explain the trick to them. That's the development of it. You don't tell them the trick at first because that's, they're not going to understand it, and you don't want them to get locked into any particular paradigm. But then you go to the other direction. They go, oh no, just let the kid be free and learn everything he wants, and no boundary school, and that's really good. It just goes a little too far. And the other school system we've all seen has gone way too far on the other system, which is sit in the desk, shut up, here's the order. It needs to be more towards the other schooling system, but not as far as some of these crusty, crunchy, hippity parents are doing. There's a, I'm not going to call it a happy medium, but and it's not even a centrist position because I'm not a centrist either. But it does require understanding what the power of the mind is and where it's coming from. It's being dictated by stronger minds. So if their mind is stronger, whatever the result is, sometimes it's not benefiting everyone. But I mean, once you have control of your own mind, then there you go. There's your mind control. Congratulations, you passed the test. You passed the class. What was all the fuckery? What was all the? What can we do? Your children out here. What did you want to do? Just let you run around and just. The species would have ended a long time ago if there wasn't for powerful magicians. Despite some of the wild shit that they do. And it's glaringly obvious what some of it is, but then they always blame it on the, it's a classic Republican or Democratic thing. It used to be a Republican thing, now Democrats do it. They blame everyone else for what they're doing themselves, but even though it's part of the same system, all they did was flip it around. They change it every 8 to 12 years. People get confused and they go, oh, they don't even remember what, They became a Christian because their mother was a Christian. They became a Republican because that, not realizing that the value system over the years has changed. They can't even see it because they don't know what was going on really in the political system. They didn't know what it meant, like what values these systems had. Of course, Mr. Manning. We're sitting over here, getting a little bit. Oh, there's a dog right here. I might get to play with the dog. See this? I'm sitting over here for now. I might get to play with the dog. Hi, dog. Ah! I did not get to play with the dog. It was on the other side of on the boardwalk. I mean, going a little deeper on that too, with all of the evil cabal and the elite and all of this shit and everything, like, yeah, there's no doubt some crazy shit goes on some places, but the amount that they do to over hype up what they're doing to make it seem as absurd as possible is the same reason that you cast a strong spell of protection around something, so you're protecting something inside. It's protecting what was inside of an egg, a birthing. So it would look all mean and dangerous and nasty on the outside, right? Isn't that what you'd want? If there was a baby to be birthed, wouldn't you around it put dragons and tigers and all of the flaming whatever, like just swords, and isn't that how you protect something that was a treasure? And now if what they have is magic as a treasure, or what they really truly have is a birthing of something, wouldn't they present to you something very, very like vile and disgusting on the outside, and then the inside is something else? Like, how many of these people do you really, really think in Hollywood are as evil as you think? Most of them, they either grew up in it, so they don't know any better, or, they're low level magicians. They're not. Just why do you think they're part of a caste? They're part of a caste. What do you think they do in India? They have a caste system. What do you think every hierarchy system is based upon? A caste hierarchy. So, and even at the level of production, now at the level of production, that's something else. It's still not the highest level, but it is. You know, you have the producers and you have um, the directors directing and producing. It's a magical art form. I mean, if anybody just didn't take it it's directly in your face when, you know, Walt Disney always talks about imagination and blah blah blah, and it's like people are just missing the like it's not to manipulate people to do awful things. It just is how it's just been. All the magic has been used for many different people, many different ways, because they didn't understand the foundation of what magic was to be used for. One is your own mental control and your own, you know, whatever you get. It's your experience. But it was kind of like the Hippocratic oath of the doctors, like do no harm. You're not supposed to set things up to harm other people. So some people didn't realize that if you have a strong enough magic, you don't have to do anything that injures anyone else. Yeah. But some people, you give them a little. It's that John Wick beat. It's that John Wick, man. I mean, I'll try to explain it to you in a simple way. It's like you give somebody just enough knowledge, but not the whole thing, and it's just enough knowledge to go do something stupid. It's like a lot of people know something, a little bit about magic or a little bit about health, right? This is what I was talking about earlier. And they go off and say and spout off some stupid shit. I don't know how many times I'm on the same team as someone when it comes to the health, you know, like, and nutrition and what it is, and they'll say something blasphemic towards the nature of milk and honey, death-free foods and eggs. And, you know, and like I'm agreeing with them, like, about, they'll say distilled water's no good, honey and milk's no good, but they can eat plastic. And I'm like, what are you going to do when your baby comes out? Like, are you going to not give it mother's milk, or is that's okay then, but then the rest of the time it's not? You know, you try to, so it's like not even, you can't even talk to these people because they went vegan for a year, now they know everything. It's like, you just use these simple things because once again it goes back to emotional attachment to something that people are so emotional about things they don't even understand the truth of what they're saying, what they believe. Wicca Slim Shady. What's up, Party Jake? It's just funny to watch when it occurs. You know, give me some popcorn, let me just watch. But you know, sometimes whenever you deal with it firsthand, you're just going, I gotta deal with this fucking idiot right now, like a literal idiot. And there's no, like, what do you, okay. Better deal with 3 major league, next level idiots, man. Recently. I'm like, I don't know, it was crazy to me. I actually talked to a chick that said that she's okay, she got the Ronies, but she's good for the next 3 months. She goes, what? She said something to the effect of that she's good for 3 months, but still was wearing a mask. And I was like, so if you're good for 3 months, then why are you wearing a mask? She was saying, like, she got, like, I don't know if she got the back, she had it and then got a, so she can't get sick again, but she's wearing a mask, but she could get it again in 3 months. It's like, how do you get it again? If your body would have the immunity against it, right? Isn't that the, I don't know, I was trying to have a conversation with her and she just couldn't. I was like, she was just being so illogical and just repeating something. I was like, that's so weird. Yeah. I was like, I guess, all right, cool, have a good day. Oh, nice. Isn't that fun? Like, I'm outside and I'm watching so many people outside right now wearing masks. It's unfucking believable. I cannot stress enough how hilarious it is that, like, a month into this I could have understood. At this point, if people haven't even done their due diligence and research and could even figure it, even if you didn't do any research, you couldn't figure out, like, this is totally bullshit. Because it's about a year into this, right? Almost. basically. I mean, almost. It's insane. And there's more people that rock masks now than before. It's become a fashion statement. They, you know, some of them still take it off, do something, touch it, move it, and some people just put it over their mouth, leave their nose. I'm like, but it's, who are you, what, for what? Like, you know, there's not even anyone, there's just a suggestion that, yeah, maybe you should wear one. There's not even, oh, there it goes, I didn't even see she had one. I think it was on her chin. The chin mask. Crazy shit, right? Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? How do you interact with these people? Hey, Fire Drake, which one did you send me? I think I hadn't watched it yet because a couple people sent me some shit. Which one was it? Because somebody sent me something that I already watched prior, and it was a long one. It was a YouTube video of some. I forget what the dick's name was. Yeah, I mean, just resend it to me. I send it to me because obviously some of the shit doesn't come through because there's Europeans on our Instagram group. Oh yeah. I started watching a little bit of that. I haven't got into the whole thing because it was, yeah. I haven't checked the whole thing out yet. Hi, puppy. Oh, Divine Hazel. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I think you both had sent that. I'll check it out. Yeah, I'd started it, but it was like, it was Betty time, and I was like, I kind of wanted to pay attention to it, so yeah, I'll go revisit it. So chilly. Good thing I have my fancy new gloves in here that I was so graciously gifted a couple days ago. Rocking and rolling. Oh yeah. The gloves. Well, welcome all of you people. Well, yeah, I mean, I heard it was taken down a lot of different times. That was kind of what I was telling people the past couple shows. I'm gonna get these other accounts open up on the brand new tube and the new tube. That way, I mean, I don't, you know, for what I say, most of my shit is just so bizarre and so connected to this guy saying it. Like, who the fuck cares? And I don't say anything too, you know, ungracious about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still like what's the worst I'm gonna say? Drink your piss? He's a fucking piss drinker. One time I said the realm is probably flat. Look at this fucking piss drinker thinks the earth is flat. What an idiot. You can't believe anything he says anyways. You know, that's kind of the motivation for, that's kind of their lack of motivation to do anything about, like, really squashing my channel. Oh, and it's because of the fact that they already have, you know, pretty much did that a couple years ago. But whatever. Hey, look at all these flying rats. See them all? Flying rats, flying free. Oh man, I might fucking take it back to the Cribbles. I thought it was supposed to be in the 60s today, but it's not. It is chilly. It is chillies. Hello. Well, yeah, let's go back to the Cribbles because this is too cold. It's too cold. I thought it was gonna be warmer. Come join me. Let's do some weird shit. And I'll consider if I should eat today. Oh fuck. Dropping beers. Well, I already had a little snack for a little snacky do for breakfast. I'm putting on all the extra weights these days. Become fat daddy. I don't even want to know what I weigh right now. I can feel it in my feet. My feet are like, you put on so much weight in 2 weeks. What's going on over here? They're having some sort of festival. I don't know what they're doing. It's a birthday party? I don't know. Somebody's wearing shiny shit right now. Maybe for their birthday. Could go to the chime tree, but F that information. I'm gonna throw these beer cons away, and then we'll get on with whatever the hell we're talking about. Boom. Sweet potato chips, raw blue cheese. Yes. I never thought about putting the two together. That's an interesting combo. I haven't had a lot of cheese lately, especially blue cheese. I used to eat a lot of blue cheese. I really like it, but it's kind of considering the state of affairs in the world these days. It's on my list of expenses that are affordable. It's pretty low on the scale of like, it's actually cheaper to buy. All sorts of shit's way cheaper. Or the can of beans. Not a can of beans. Can of beans. Nice. There's a poet here hanging out. Brought their typewriter. The old school hipster poets in New Orleans. Give them a couple bucks. Give them an idea, and they'll type you a poem about something. Yeah, and they always have like some old school typewriter thingy. And they always dress in all, very hipsterdom. Oh, you about to get that. You about to get that. Put that snow out there. I'm good with all the snow. This is bad enough. It's like 60 here. Snow surfing. Yeah, what about that, Fire Jake? What is that? Is that a sign for you're a chick or something? What is that? I can't even tell. Surfing with dudes. Are you surfing with gay dudes? Is that what that means? Hey, you gotta do, that's the thing, man. Fuck the bullshit. Yeah, 60 is about my limit for how low I can go on temperature before it's no good anymore. I don't know. To me, being here in 60-degree weather is colder than when I lived in the Northeast, and it would be snowing, and it was just like still like this seems to me to be the same cold. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're lying about the temperature, because it really does. I'm a little chilly, even though I have socks, a jacket, a scarf. socks, gloves, jacket, scarf, and I'm still feeling a little bit of chilly chills. I like it. Yeah, I fucking like it. You've been having weird. Oh, I've had some crazy, weird dreams. I had another really wild Inception one. Had a couple where I revisited a friend of mine from years and years ago. Some chick I used to know. And then I had one that was an Inception, crazy Inception dream about finding a bunch of money and like waking up in another realm, and it's really crazy. Let me get this door open here. Un momento. Por favor, Javier. Let's see. Okay. Oh man, what the fuck? What the Fushnikins? Oh my gosh. Always such a... See the whole thing open that door. Wait right here. Welcome. Well, nice to see you guys. A lot of people here this afternoon. Very strange. It's always such a strange thing. The number of people when people are around. People show up. What's up, Regina? The car box. You don't trust that no more, huh? Well, if you know where you're getting it from, but then if you don't, if you're getting it from a local farm or something, then it's going to be in the opposite direction. It's going to be superpower food. But if you're getting it from the store, well, I'm going to take your chances. I can't. But at the point it becomes blue cheese, you're already in the direction of it, already having, for the most part, killed off most of the garbage, becoming a good culture. So blue cheese, as long as it's not the stupid blue cheese, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, if you know the source, it's gonna be. That's what's up. Hi, puppy.
I'm going up to 4. I'm going up.
Oh yeah, cool, awesome, man.
You going up?
Hi, baby. Yeah. Hi, honey. We go all the way. Hi, puppers. Hi, baby. Hi. Yes.
A lot of people are afraid of him because he's so big.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. I like big puppies.
He's 12. He's not going to do much.
Cheers, you know.
Yeah, you have a good one, bud.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, cheeses can be the worst thing, but the crazy can be the best thing. If you add it after, like goat's cheese after you cook it, rather than cooking it, or put some blue cheese on after, maybe make a pizza or something. And super dope. What's up, Shaman? What y'all doing? Okay, well, my building is chilly out here. I don't think they do anything to keep the hallways warm. So what do you guys think the chances are of all of this other crazy shit, like the electrical grids and all this? What do you think the chances are? 100%. Everybody. I'm still curious about what order they're gonna do these things, and if they're going to still, or if somehow they're not gonna be able to accomplish it because people will become too aware. It's too much magic, but yeah, when I say the things they're gonna do, like perhaps trying to attempt a world war. Not that they're going to actually do a world war, but it will be on the revolution televised. I mean, they'll televise it as if it was a war or something going on. We've got a big problem with Iran. I mean, the fact that people blaming this whole thing on China is like, you have to know they're on the same team. I just don't know how people still continually not get that China is the same. It's the same thing as the United States. The same thing as Cuba. Same thing as anywhere. Like, y'all gonna get it? It's no different. The Republican and Democrats are on the same team. China and the U.S. is on the same team. It's not. And the idea of people hate a bad aspect of a one world government. And in truth, most people, if you understood it, what it should be, what it could be, you would totally want a one world government, wouldn't you? I mean, you hear all the bad things about it, all the bad aspects, but don't listen to me pee, you creeps. Oh, yeah. All right. Wasting pee. Okay. Yes, I did not flush it. I know sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. It was okay. Well, welcome. Oh, got a nose hair there. Oh God. Oh, that one's gonna pull. That one's gonna make me cry a little bit. Let me come over here. I don't know. What happened to my doggy? She had died. It's great 2020, right around May, June. Pretty awesome. Yep. And I moved, so I don't know when you've seen me last. I think you seen me on the show the other day. Yeah, my new place. Yeah. Dead doggo, man. Yeah, I've been saying no one's really out there saying much about the Hoover Dam, but I've been kind of putting that out there. I think they're going to use the Hoover Dam. I mean, I think most of the coding has been for. Sorry guys, I gotta do something with this here for you guys. The coding has been for the Golden Gate Bridge. It's all over the place. The blue and gold and Golden Gate, San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors, the Golden Gate Bridge. Their team is blue and gold. They've been using a lot of blue and gold and stuff coding. And then the 41 coding has been over there all the place. But again, they can choose to do it differently or in different order or something different completely. But the ritual stuff, it seems like it would be the major things would be attempt a world war thing, attempt a civil war thing, which seems like this thing that's happening right now could be popping off for civil war kind of shit. It would seem like civil war would come before world war, or it could coincide just to cause utter chaos for people. And so if you have a civil war that's starting apparently, and then you couldn't immediately then strike down the internet connection, because you wouldn't want people not to get their daily dose of fear, you know. But but they could start the Civil War, and perhaps simultaneously right after it, the Civil War, then cut the computer connections, or at least electricity out for the grid, which would only inspire an actual somewhat people to actually people to be kind of Looney Tunes. But then if they got the grid going back up, then they could do the World War III kind of mock, right? Mock that up, because you would have to keep people informed of how much they need to be fearful for that to even work. So that would make sense. And the Golden Gate Bridge, like somewhere in there, like it all seems like part of the whole thing. It'd be like the Needle in Seattle, the Golden Gate, and then Hoover Dam. You probably work it out the same way. Say when NASA and all of those, all Challengers will be destroyed. It was the Challenger. Remember there's a poem about everyone. There was 7 or 8 different ships, and if you say them in order, it actually gives you a sentence, and it is like the Challenger was destroyed, even though we know that that really didn't happen. At least the people on the plane or they weren't on there. They didn't die. There was none of that. See, it's a bigger scale of magic and scripting. Like, oh, they killed Dub, or the people in Hollywood. No, you see them. They're still alive. Like, they're not killing these people. It's all for effects. There definitely there are definitely. That was actually going to be the show title for today, but I figured I'd wait. And do it. But was about magic and ritual magic, and using something to. There's always got to give up something. You have to give something to the system. It's like a put a quarter onto the merry-go-round, and you get on it. You give a couple bucks. It's an entry fee. It's an entry pass, and so you sacrifice something. Yeah, I sacrifice $1 to go on this ride. So what they sacrifice doesn't have to be like a human. They could sacrifice all sorts of different things, all different kinds of energies and powers for a different type of energy. And so it's sacrificing that people think of as this negative thing. It's not. Like, we give up things all the time that we don't. This would turn this. I like this better. We're trading in energies. That's what's happening. Certainly, you can use a human body and a human, but that's some really crazy shit. That some only like that's people that have misunderstood the magic. She was awesome. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, the other thing, like, it's it's just like there's just nothing to do. It's like I don't know. It's like, what, you go out there, like, people are doing things, but then you got this whole. I don't know how many times you walk down the street and somebody passes you. Like, I've had people without masks stop and like go off to the side of like, if there's a hallway or something, or they're like, I'm like, you're not wearing a mask. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's happening here. Like, I've seen people with masks on also do that, and they'll walk into a street and almost get by a car. I'm like, what's going on? No, don't do that. Like, eh, it's so weird. It's so weird. And the interesting part of the weird is, I don't know how many of them are just rule followers, and I don't know how many of them actually trust the the media, the government, all of that. I don't know what it is, if it's like they really believe, or they really believe that the science is real, that science is real. I don't know. At least in that stance, you can kind of, you could comprehend what someone might still. But then, I thought that would have been done after 4 months. You could still figure it out. Hey, there's a doctor in science that says this, and there's a doctor in science that says that. So you're just choosing to go with the popular narrative. So democratic of you. Well, what's funny, Regina, that whole thing that just happened today with in the uh where was it, the Senate, the Congress, or whatever. They One of the things on the media that I was reading said they were handing out gas masks to people in the Senate. So if that doesn't tell you something. That's so weird. Okay. Beer, wine. Let's go get a snack. Should I just order some food? I don't know. I don't feel like paying for delivery and all that. Cut into my thing for other things. Let's see. Got some soup right here. Got some soup I made the other day. Let's go see what's going on here. Give me a second. Yeah, so that gas mask thing that's going to be funny. I mean, okay, think about it. The last reset, what did people have on? What were people doing? The whole last reset, the whole idea was between what was going on with the air being dirty, going to a new realm, coming up from bunkers, underground. Everybody was dressed in steampunk gear, steampunk attire. Dope. Little carrot and celery stew. Soup. Some beans, some rice, onions. I guess I can mess with this today. Pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, and you know what? Because I like you guys. So a shot of tequila. Still have this bottle. Thank you, David Mannion. Got one less little salute. Slanche. Slant. You slunt. It's like a slut and a cunt. You slunt. That'll get the blood moving, huh? Okay. Let's go get my plug, crack this beer, and dive it. Well, let's dive deep into some things. Kidney bean soup. I had black bean, or not black bean. I had black eyed pea soup. I mean, it started off as just a veggie broth, and then I got crazy with the spices and did some like Indian spice in there too, like kind of stuff, and then some rice and some beans left over from something I made. What's up, Repsol? Does urine itself, unto itself, I don't know. I mean, it will accomplish that feat, I'm sure, because it has stem cells in it. I mean, that's kind of it's the perfect onboard computer holographic system of medicine you could ever, it's onboard just to. So yeah, I mean, does it itself do it? I don't know. You might, perhaps. I don't know what other. I don't know all the elements in there, but perhaps it's definitely an AIDS in it. Yes, David Mannion, or should I say David Woman Yin? For the David Manions and David Woman Yins out here. You see, they did that they closed Congress the other day with a men and a woman. Regina, and a drop of gin. Interesting. I do like tequila, and there's some interesting things that I like. Just a little bit of tequila on the meal. That's a really nice, interesting. What did I eat the other day? Oh, I had a fried rice, and I had a little tequila to it at the end. Barely even cooked any of the alcohol off. I didn't really want to cook the alcohol off. It's pretty cool, pretty dope. But I do kind of want to. Now that I have made this soup, I kind of want to add noodles to it, because I like noodles in my soup. Noodles. Oh man, see, that's crazy. Look at that, Carson. Look at that. 4 days in, 4 years ago. I told you how it works, man. It's good stuff, man. And that's awesome. That you had a lot of dreams. Yeah. At this point, you're totally rehydrating your brain. Not totally, but it's getting up there. That's awesome. Yep. Yeah, the staying up and staying awake is a different thing. And you're like, I'm not even tired. There's something in you at some points in time would be like, I'm really want to go to sleep, and something just won't. You just can't. It's nice when you're used to it, but if you're not used to it, it's a really weird thing. You're like, why am I not tired? Why is my body not going? What's happening here? Yeah, it's strange. Hmm. Kind of mad snacky right now. I've been snacky since it's been colder. Even though I've been outside a little more. I've not just stayed inside. Although there was a little bit of time before it got cold, I was just so like tired of like going out and not having anything to do. What's up, Rachel? Building muscle. If it's just weak, or if it's like if you've had muscle problems or joint or tendon issues, there's different things that you could use that help repair tendons and ligaments and bone structure and stuff. Um, for muscle repair, man, it depends. Like, you trying to get big? Because once you fast for a little bit, your growth hormone will start to kick in, and so any kind of just working out, no matter what you're eating, you can build some muscle on there. If you're just trying to get to a healthy, cozy size. Like, I don't know. It just depends. It depends on if you're just, like a building muscle to be fast twitch, slow twitch. Do you want to get thick? You want to get just in shape? You just want things to work right? Do you have torn? Do you have any problems with the muscles? Yeah, you just want to clean out the muscle first, and then rebuilding it will just kind of be happenstance to everything else that you're just doing the activities, and then um, certain herbs I suppose you could add that they're beneficial to that. Foods wise, enzyme rich things, and living foods, sauerkrauts and things like this, to added to other things that will go into you. Again, it depends on how active you are. So many things that go into it. Yeah, well, I mean, I'd even consider using, if you have a good source of it, or I would even consider using bone broth from dare I say bone broth from animals. Um, but if you don't want to go that way, you just gotta put in the work, put in the work, and then just add. If some people don't want to add carbohydrates, don't eat carbohydrates late. Eat them early in the day. I mean, don't eat too many. There's a few ways to go about it. I would just start putting the work in, and then add more carbohydrates. Think of where plant life is on the whatever you're going to be eating. Where is it? Is it up here in the middle? Is it getting from below ground? Is it something that will, if it's cold, are you going to be doing less things outside? Are you less active? So starches and sugars will turn into fat. But if you have something that's enzyme rich and you're going to be lifting heavy weights and you want to, eating before bed, or that's a really long question. Because what goes into it is, what are you doing all day? When do you work? When are you going to work out? Are you lifting heavy? Are you in cold or hot climate? Do you care if there's a little fat that goes along with it? Do you just want strength, or you want, having bigger muscles doesn't equate to having more strength per se. And then your tendons and your ligament issues. I mean, I'll look into that specifically, tendon and ligament stuff. Uh huh. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Yoga static stretches for sure. Yeah, Olympic rings. Yeah, I mean, I would mainly you just do body weight exercises and just like watch any of these cats on here, they're doing calisthenics. Like there's just a fucking bar and some whatever, and they're just like every muscle in their body, every ligament, and they're just cut. I would get into doing those things. Just look up these cats that are just doing like bar god work. Yeah. And then you just got to add some. There's some certain things you probably add just to make sure that you're getting your 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 lower body work too, because a lot of that is upper body stuff, and doesn't really they don't get their lower body involved. Sure, I mean any look, right. So it comes down to any diet can build muscle. Any diet can build fat. It doesn't. It's not like it's not like there's one specific diet. There's some that have the pitfalls. It's easier to, but you can find all sorts of people that are fruitarians that are really strong and really big. You can find vegetarians that are very big and strong. Just go study any culture that is a vegetarian culture. Then you look at monks, look at what their diet is. White rice is no good. Well, why are they eating it? And they can take a sword and, and you could hit him in the stomach with an axe. It doesn't even cut him or damage them. You're like, oh, what's happening here? Yeah, every diet can be for building muscles and things. You just gotta stay with things that are processed. That's about it. That's really what it is. Even if you're still into eating animal foods now and then, as long as it's not garbage processed and it's close to fresh, not raw, as fresh as possible. Why do the why do all the fruitarians look like pure poop juice? Because it's the kind of people that represent the culture, the people that really, because where they came from to begin with, just like vegans, they have the ones that show off as being healthy vegans. I guarantee they're not. They've only been doing it for a little while, and before they got big, they were eating a bunch of other different things, and most of them are eating a vegetarian diet, not a vegan diet, and they'll be taking certain supplements. So fruitarians, like I don't, if you go to say the equator, or they'll probably eating fish at night and probably eating fruit all day, and they're anything but garbage, you know. They're probably drinking some Red Stripe, eating fish at night next to a fire, and then eating fruit all day, and they're massive. You could probably find that around the equator anywhere you go. Their diet will be closer to that. Yeah, I mean the protein is the big one. The protein is like the biggest myth for many reasons. Fish is the fruit of the sea. Yeah, I mean, fish is where it's at. Yeah, I mean Eric Alchemic. The valuable fats and the fish. Yeah, they're gonna add something to um, the oiliness and things and the fat that you need a little bit of to keep lubricated. Um, but it's not. I don't think everybody's like, oh, we started eating, fish, and we needed this, and we developed our brain and all that. That's not how it worked. That's not how it worked at all. But they do have valuable fats. But just taking and going, hey, I'm gonna get these pills, there's omega 3s and 6s and 9s, and it comes from the fish, and that's the only way. It's like, no, that's not completely true. But and especially getting it from the pill form. Like you ever taken those? You smell like fish. It's just fucking. Seems like. Just get it from the fish. Just eat the fish. Oh, divine chicken and broccoli alfredo with Greek olives. Nice. I wish. I have a couple pieces of steak that put there, and then everything else right now I got is all veggies and canned shit, just in case the apocalypse happens. Cod liver. Cod liver oil is good. There's all sorts of good oils that you could take a spoonful of that would be very helpful for all sorts of things. A gram of protein per 100 milliliter of breast milk. Give me some titties. Yeah, he also looks like he would fall over if a fly farted at him. That kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. There's a lot of things that I don't know. I love Santos to death, but I don't know. I love that dude. Great information. But he has his own pitfalls too and things. I don't see it that way. Go listen to Neville Goddard and those ones. They meet. They reincarnate. They seem to have a pretty high knowledge of spirituality. Um, I mean, I knew Menashe used to know about urine therapy and stuff, but then I doesn't seem to speak about it anymore. I think he went vegan, didn't he? Then a bunch of these dudes in the truther community, that kind of thing. They always just tend to lean towards that veganism thing, not getting it at all. Go ahead and do the veggie thing. Be a vegetarian, but stop with the vegan shit. Stop. They're not understanding what nutrition is at all. I'm not going to go off on that tangent again. I've done that too many times. Yeah, Santos is pretty good at what he knows, but I think he's out of his gordita. Speaking about health and well-being, he just looks frail and emaciated. Oh yeah, I've seen some vegan dog food, vegan cat food. I'm like, ugh, here we go now. That's what dogs want. They want vegan food. That's what they want. Right. I used to. I still dig his stuff. Yeah, sure. But he came out with the vegan thing too. Whatever. I just set down the speakers when they start going on some vegan shit and what they think they know about diet. I know they're wrong. I know it. Not like Not like because I have some. It just sits wrong in every way because I know what it is, and they can't even see what it's connected to. They'll shit on, they'll shit on people that are in Hollywood all day long. They'll say Hollywood sucks. Hollywood's the worst. They're Satanists. They did it. And I'm like, so the same people that have been giving you everything about Hollywood is Hollyweird, is Satanism, is crazy, is da da da, right? Then they'll immediately go. They'll jump on what is Hollywood doing now? Everyone in Hollywood is saying go vegan, go green and go vegan. Everybody's going green and vegan. I'm like, do you understand the pitfalls of both of these things? And they're huge. The pitfalls are huge. So, what are you gonna do? That to me just gonna reach. It reaches my brain. I'm like, I already processed this information. I already know what it is. I don't need to hear about it again. Oh, they swear they have ethics and morals, yet they're the same people that will. They hate humans, but they love animals. They hate humanity. What you gonna do though? Yeah, Martin Kenny's work is awesome. I still don't think he got a couple of things wrong. I mean, he thinks veganism is a way to go, but then he believes that Bill Gates is somehow doing God's work by giving, saying the vaccine, and I don't know, dude's like, he took well, took the Kool-Aid, man. I don't know. Yeah. Photonic living foods. Yeah, I understand the value in eating living foods, but then you have, see, here's the thing: is if you're a vegan and eating living foods, it's not the same thing. Then you got vegans that say they're all against any living foods. Fermented food is living food, but they're against fermented foods. But then they'll eat plastic foods. But then there's some things that you gotta be an alkaline raw vegan. And then you're just going to all this. I'm like, oh, you guys slow the fuck down. You don't just relax. it's not as complicated as everyone's making. Just because somebody doesn't want to eat plasticized food and chemicals and that's in the vegan thing, is not saying that on the other side we want to go slaughter all the animals and drink their blood and eat cow shit and piss and puke and put that's the first. If you just go, no, the vegan thing is wrong, all they hear is you want to murder animals. That's all they can hear. And then if you tell somebody it's a raw foodist, they go like, well, you got to cook. No, you can't cook anything. Okay, then they're like alkaline everything, and they're like, well, acid, and they're like, no, and they're all, and then it's even within the veganism, there's sects to their cults, sects. But whatever. And then you got some of them, they won't drink beer, they won't drink. I'm like, why? And there's got to have some reason they can't do that. I mean, really, if they became as moral and ethically, because they're obviously morally and ethically superior to everyone else. If they took their own advice, there would be a point that there'd be nothing they could eat. They couldn't do anything. There's no products they can use. There's nothing. There's nothing that is not in some way connected to an animal source. I don't care what it is. Nothing. You can't eat vegetables. How could you? How could you even eat vegetables? Aren't there a bunch of worms and things? I thought, don't be a speciesist, right? Is that what I say? Don't be a speciesist. Well, worm is a species. What about the ants and the things that are going on the ground and all that? Get over yourself. I think the heaven on earth, I'm bringing some like do no harm to the world thing. Like, okay, great attitude, but you're taking it a little too far because there's nothing there. You're not. Can't walk down the street without stepping on some ants. That's just what it is. You can't tell me. You can't sell me your clothes without it being in a factory that is made of concrete, and that concrete, you know what I mean? Like, how far can we go back with this shit? Like, you're not using you're gonna use your Apple to create this cool thing, and you got your product line and all this, and like that Apple phone. Do you know all the plastic and all the things there, how it's chemically destroying? No, these people just. Hmm. Oh well, can't teach them. I even. I've been worried about trying to teach them no more. Yeah, they're happy harming themselves, even though they won't accept it, as long as you don't harm animals. But they can't get away from it. Preaching veganism off the iPhone 12. Exactly. Yep. What's up, Calisthenos? uh Tuna eggs with rice? Interesting. I guess it was fresh tuna. I mean, canned tuna. I make a tuna melt. That'd be dope. One trick to make them better than everyone else. Yeah, it's a very ego-driven thing. It's not actually. They're not really interested in health. They want it. As always, it's a somewhere between an ego-y thing that they're always trying to get rid of, which they can't, and that ethic, moral high ground that is equated with virtue signaling everything. In fact, they live most of the virtue signals too. They're not just doing it kind of. They're doing it, and they're believing in it. It goes back to the beginning of the video again. Emotionally tied to something. They're emotionally attached to something. Yeah. So they're gonna even that. They don't care, and they want to come across as they care about everything. They just don't. How long you been a vegan? Oh, it's been 2 years. It's been a great path, I do everything for the animals now. Everything is, just free and BPA free, and no antibiotics, and no, the animals cannot eat just but, and they go through this whole thing, and then they'll like, somebody's like, so how old are you? They're like, oh, they're like 20, 25, 26. So what did you do before that? Oh, I had a horrible diet. Does everybody else get time to have their horrible diet too? Or they gotta become vegans now. They don't get that. You had a 25-year pass of having a shit diet and murdering animals and doing all that shit. You got a pass for that. Now no one can. Now because you're you're on your moral high ground. Now, not only is it absurd, but it's just not healthy. What's going on, guy? Folic acid for pregnancy. I don't know. I'm sure that might be. Let me look into that. I'll look at that a little deeper. The folic acid and all of that, because I'm the humic acid, the folic acid, and there's a lot of good. This goes back into like, remember, acids are good for the body. There's some that are no good, some that are very good. There's I haven't done too much research into that specifically, but I'll check it out, and I'll give you a better answer on that. I don't want to go off on a tangent about acids again, but yeah, the humic acids, and there's some. I think it was your boy, Drunvalo Melchizedek, that used to preach about some certain kind of acids. They were really good for the body. I think it was for him was more like mental stuff, but I suppose that might have something to do with it. I'll look a little deeper, dude. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the sprouted things are always going to be good. Certainly, sprouted anything. I mean, think about in pregnancy too. So the major things for pregnancy is anything it's woman-like seed in it. Avocado, um, and it's like a seed or a nut. Like some man's going to impregnate someone. It's a seed, the nut, and what comes forth. So that those sprouts would be probably up there. So whatever sprouts contain seeds, nuts, sprouts, some fatty acids. So there's more fatty acids. Fatty acids. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll dig into that a little further though, man. Definitely, definitely. I'll do a little research on that. Pine nuts are good for the pineal. There's a couple other things that are good. They're very oily too, but they're expensive. Dry eyes in a dog. Um, you're gonna have to start with what is the dog eating. The easiest thing is like I'm gonna just guess that the dog is probably eating dry dog food. It's probably that's dry eyes are gonna be kidney issues. What kind of dog is it? Certain dogs will have more kidney issues. It's kind of in the breed and the way that they're built and the way they don't always breed dogs to be healthier. Sometimes they breed dogs because they want them to be cute, and it's really fucked up. But depending on the dog breed, it's a kidney eye issue, and also water issue. Probably oil. I would increase. It's a lab. I was gonna say it's a lab. Yeah, that's and probably has kidney issues too, especially if you're eating dry food. You need to add. I would get into raw meat perhaps if they go that way. Even cooked meat is fine. Certain types of, you know, there's certain type of raw food diets out there for dogs that do a lot of wonders. Adding oils is good, and a lot of water. You got to clean the kidneys out and then rehydrate the body. The eyes will function off of how healthy the kidneys are. Yeah, it's funny. I was assuming it was a lab. How old? Probably like 7, 8. Because the kidneys will turn into eye and then perhaps hip issues. Those are all kind of, but those are all again, some of those are like somewhat hard coded genetics. Like 4 or 5. Yeah, and I'm guessing again it was yeah. I'm guessing the dry food is probably a major culprit. It's extracting water. What kind of water is it getting? Is it clean water? Da, 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 da. Yeah, I know it's not your dog, but I mean, you could do the only thing that you can do to change it if they're not going to go major change, add lots of oils to the food. If it's dry food, add oils, more clean water, because the oil will start to help put some pressure on the kidneys to clean those things out. It'll take a while. And there's the pulp from a carrot, because not only is that fiber rich, but it will still have some of the oil, and carrot juice is good for the eyes. Adaptogens might work, yeah. Mm. Silver dollar in the water. That way you can tell if there's anything going on with the dog. I don't know anything about that practice. I don't know what that means. Like, what is that? I don't know. Um, so I'm gonna kick it with you guys for a few more minutes, and then um, I'm gonna go cook some food and do my thing for a second. Till I come back on. What kind of oils? And again, if it's not your dog and they're not really gonna listen, what's oil? um, Again, it's not. It comes down to like specifically what else. Like what could be. Fish oils would be good in this case, perhaps. Um, Olive oil is fine, I guess. Yeah. And also, it's like, again, if you're just adding oil to certain types of food, is not necessarily going to have the different chains of the oils, and it's just oil, not motor. Maybe some motor oil. um, Carson, is chlorella good for detox while doing urine limping? Um, I I would stay on the safe side of doing them separately, because I think you'll, no matter what, no matter how good your urine is, how good it is for you. You know, obviously, if I was going to do a chlorella or another green kind of herby thing, you're probably still going to be pissing out bits and pieces of perhaps heavy metals and, things like that. You're still going to have sediment in your bladder no matter what. You're not going to get 100% clean bestest ever right away. So there's a chance that you're going to be recycling something. So I would do it separately. There's a couple of cleanses that I would do. I would stop the urine just for a second. I mean, I don't think it will do harm, but I just think that I'd rather just stick to the water with using water in the green juices and stuff. I don't think it's bad, but yeah, I would do the water. Oh, interesting. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, and also, if just to throw another couple things in there, you could look up some acupressure points for dogs that are related to the kidneys and the eyes, and I bet the dog might be even sore there in these points, and I'm sure that some of them will be somewhere along their top shoulder blades, back of the neck here, just around with this, just like with the thumbs coming just off beneath the ears, and a couple other spots, and even in here, like it's not going to be too much different than your human body. But look up dog uh, acupressure points. They'll probably sore on the dog, but if you start pushing on those and rubbing them, they will loosen up, and it will get things moving in their system. Interesting. I mean, I heard the general thing of using the silver was because it was antibacterial, antifungal, and so if they're eating meat or if they're drinking blood, it would kill off, and it just wouldn't allow bacteria to exist. Yeah, I mean, there's certain things you can add that will kind of diminish the pain too. Mm, certain types of herbs and things, but well, so everybody that's here, I'm gonna go make some snacks right now. You guys enjoy. I will perhaps be back on, I don't know, in an hour or two. We'll see. But yeah, it's good to see everybody. Hope you're doing well, and be cool, be weird. If you want to, you can always throw some change into my jangling cup by going to the PayPal and Cash App is beneath. Stay cool. Talk to you in a little bit. Bye.